Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at the GvG I did yesterday. I am super rusty, not played GvG's in a long time anyway. And yeah, we did win this GvG, a little bit of a spoiler there. But I wanted to go over it, kind of cover it, make sure that I knew what was going on in my head. I want to talk over mistakes I did, things we could have done better, things the enemy team could have done better, things like that. So let's just get into it and start talking, shall we? In this we have, let's just make sure it's all good. In this we have Ignasti running the one-hand holy Mistcaller as we normally see. We have Ellipsis running the Ironclad, AWM running the heavy crossbow, and Crisis running the one-hand fire with Taproot, I believe. And then we have obviously me running Bear Paws, if I didn't already say. So we go straight into this. AWM goes for the hour cap. We've got Crisis going up to the top. Ellipsis on his horse. Probably doesn't need to be, but they don't interrupt us, so it doesn't really matter, to be honest. And yeah, we start moving up. I'm very underfamed under expect and things like that, so I was actually struggling to compete with some of these guys in terms of iron power. Now, very important thing, I actually checked the frost there, and it's super important I did, because I actually realised that he had no defensive. He had obsessive burst, druid cow, and run, which means he's a very good target for us to be putting some serious amounts of damage on. I do call that out in comms. The reason I've got it muted, by the way, is because I actually didn't have comms streamed. And again, Ellipsis reacts off that, and we already put some pressure. Tank gets a nice tackle. We kind of set him up for that one. I burn block here just to try and get out, and I actually stopped to heavy smash. We aren't going to put any more pressure. I didn't need to heavy smash then. I think it was a little bit of a waste. Pop my E just to put some counter pressure, and actually look at rank there at the top. AWM was putting some serious damage onto him. That's the obsessive burst con as well. They do go to try and get the cap. They do get the top cap. We did actually get back capped, or Crisis wasn't able to do 1v1. Not really sure what happened. But rank is 8 miles back right now, and we do get a heavy smash onto him as well. He actually dodge rolls the sweeping bolts from AWM, otherwise that was him dead. That's kind of the combo we're going for, the knockback into the double pierce, into the sort of wombo combo of our damage. We do take a lot of damage onto Ellipsis right now. He isn't able to push back in, so he does fall back, get some heals. I actually had a little bit of lag. Now I can see that I'm in a little bit of trouble, already getting ready to pop that potion if I needed. Ellipsis is knocking back the glaive. I'm going to try and get to the glaive and do some damage. I actually kind of misplayed there, misstepped at least. Rank is going in with that obsessive burst, and that is cue for us to be walking away. We don't need to be in this fight if he's popped an offensive cooldown. Gets a stun onto the tank, and we do keep walking back. Now I go into stealth. I used my Gigantify before. It's completely unnecessary. I hit a 4-man Bear Paws there, and we can all of a sudden, that damage allows us to turn. And look at the damage we actually did then. Crisis stays a little bit too long with that frost, just doing 3 damage, and we do get hit by a really bad tank tackle. Pop my block, and gonna try and just walk away, but as you can see, they go really hard on me right now. Probably pop my block a little bit too early, to be honest. But it's okay, I didn't die. But it does mean that we had to try and recover that. Crisis hit a godlike firewall there, stopping the tackle, and rank just gets exploded because there was no peel onto AWM. From that, obviously, we did get a kill. We're just going to run these people down. Zerdonks gets a Bear Paws, High gets hit as well. The firewall comes down, and that was a really good firewall to interrupt our Ellipsis, and it looks like we are just going to take the cap and nice and chill. I do actually start going for the cap. Ellipsis says he does get the stun and he can knock him back. Didn't actually have E ready to go, or had energy issues. Can't remember which one it was. So we didn't do anything with it. But realistically, still getting the cap. Going to get that 2 cap for this. Tries to pillar it. Doesn't actually manage to get it. I think, let me just rewind a sec. Yeah, so if you look, as soon as I start going for this cap, I'm going to go for it in a second. I'm going to turn on it and go for it now. Now look at their tank. Their tank comes down. He's going to come down this path right here where my mouse is going. And Crisis gets that firewall there to try and delay. Forces the tank to go all the way around, and he misses his tackle. He was 1 hit, but it does actually allow us to get that cap. That was great play by Crisis there to actually do it, and look at the damage we put on. That's a 4-man Bear Paws as well as a Pyroblast on the tank. They have no pressure right now. They are forced to fall away. Do actually go into Invis thinking that if they kept pushing, I could be on their back line and get a heavy smash onto one of the clothies. They didn't do it, so it's fine. We walk away from it. And it's important to know that in GvG's. We kind of learned it in this. I mean, I was picking things up that I've kind of forgotten. Like I said, very rusty. But just not to over push. We could have got that cap a lot earlier. Instead, we decided to keep pushing, go for another like sort of skirmish. Didn't really achieve anything out of it, really. We didn't gain or lose anything out of it, so what was the point in having it? We hold the front 2 at the moment, or the bottom 2 caps. We don't send anybody to go to the top. We don't need to. We are taking the cap right now, but they are able to kind of pressure us off with that hammer. Now look at this. Look at this, right? Just then, all 5 of us were grouped in one area. That's a guaranteed 3 or 4 man tackle just right there. Do try and poke the glaive a little bit. I've already had it pointed out to me that I was very, very, let's say, lenient on my defenses. I use them all the time. It's just, I use them a little bit unnecessarily, and actually look at here, I use my block unnecessarily, get flung, and I'm in a bit of a bad spot. Do manage to get the Gigantify off in time, and actually that probably saved my life as well as good reactions from Nasty, and does actually manage to trade a kill. A little bit of combat loot in there, we won't tell anybody, don't worry about it. And Ryan gets flung back and gets exploded, and this is just really great play from Ellipsis and Crisis and AWM. Really, all I was in that was a scapegoat for them to burn damage, and again, this is what I'm talking about going too far. Instead of pushing right then, which we didn't need to do, and Crisis actually interrupted the cap, we try and push, and we could have come back, got the cap guaranteed, and it'd have been a lot sort of the safer option, let's say. But again, all 5 grouped up, and yeah, I actually tried to check what Ellipsis was running on his helmet, because obviously I picked up the Demon helmet, I was going to give it to him. Again, Firewall stopping the tank, that was great play from Crisis, and he's going to keep running in. Ring can get flung straight back to us. As you can see, I'm trying to reposition right now. I know that he's about to fall back, so I go with the Bear Paws. I only managed to hit 1, is a bit of a bad play from me, and actually we do kind of get caught out with it. Crisis is super pushed, but he's got that Gigantify at the moment as well as a Taproot. He's got a lot of health, he's very tanky, and all of a sudden he starts getting a little bit of trouble and does come back. And look at the Glaive. Glaive gets in a lot of trouble right now. Zerdong's falling back, the freezing wind coming down from rank. First time I've seen a Frost Staff in a long time, by the way. But again, we do a lot of damage, slightly miss the sweeping bolts. Ellipsis doesn't actually have the knockback, so we don't do anything. I hit a 4-man Bear Paws, and that kind of decides the fight. As soon as I hit that, we realise they have to 100% go back and start resetting. We don't need to be here, we walk back, get mana. And that was a really, really good call. As you said, right at the start, we were kind of pushed 2 or 3 times unnecessarily. This time, we just reacted a little bit better, and as soon as I hit that, we were like, right, okay, they have to reset, let's walk away. And yeah, again, they've got a lot of pressure on us, unfortunately, just because they have that hammer tank, and we know that they can dive us and just do a lot of damage so quickly. AWM getting that pierce onto Hae, and AWM gets flung here, so I E to try and counter some of that pressure, and actually 2 of them drop quite like to 50% health, and Hae is in a lot of trouble right now. And actually, I would say that's probably a deciding factor. Now, I Assassin Boots there unnecessarily. I didn't need to do that. You've got a Frost Bomb and a Firewall there. I have to walk around with it. I could have potentially followed up the pressure if I had the Assassin Boots. Ellipsis takes a lot of damage. They start focusing really hard in these fights, and I'm not able to connect with anyone during this. I get a smash onto the fire, but realistically I'm just not able to connect with people at the moment. And actually, none of our DPSs, AWM was actually hitting the tank for a good chunk of that. I hit a Bear Paws onto their backline and realised that their backline isn't focusing me right now. Kind of unnecessarily pop my Assassin Boots over the Firewall. But again, Ellipsis hits a godlike pullback, and we realise that we can put some serious pressure on this. Hae is my target of focus, but I just can't get to him. Put my block here just as a defensive, trying to take as little damage as possible. And again, we look at the tank. Tanks can die in this meta, especially with this team comp, with the double pierce. Tanks can die, so don't be afraid to go for them. Hit a 2-man Bear Paws, and again, hit the Bear Paws. These guys know that they're in a bad spot right now, and they're already looking to try and fall back. Again, we get some more poke. Ellipsis hits a godlike knockback, and these guys start walking back to their tent. They just know at that point they're not going to be able to do too much. They're kind of sticking around. They don't need to go all the way back to the tent, but tries to go for the interrupt. Do get hit by that. Not really sure why I got hit. I think I was reading something. But yeah, quite clean so far. I mean, we've had a couple of issues where we've been overstaying or whatever. Again, I could probably position better to be hitting these heavy smashes or deadly chops, whatever you want to call it, on someone that I wasn't able to hit before. Crisis hitting another godlike firewall right there, and look at the tank. The tank just got exploded, and that forces their whole team to react. I hit a 3-man bear paws, and all of a sudden this fight is a completely different fight. The problem is I'm in a really bad situation. Now, I wasn't running Royal, so 2 things happened there. Let's actually go back just a little bit. So we've got the tank super low. The fires come back, already had to pop block. I go bear paws, hit 3 people with bear paws. We have super good pressure right now. This poison come down. Now, as soon as that poison come down, I should have just walked this way, walked away, but I didn't. I stayed too long, get stunned into the fling, and I just wasn't able to recover it. Didn't have royal leather boots, and Ignasti kind of misused his generous heal then. Otherwise, I might have been able to survive. Would have definitely been close. It's a shame I go down, but they actually keep fighting because we still had a lot of pressure. I mean, look, Ellipse is still going in there. You look at the health pools. Crisis starting to take some damage now, but the rest of the team isn't too worried otherwise. Big mistake, didn't put an ability on my helmet. Put abilities on your gears and items before you come in. Nubs, god damn it. But yeah, so go back in, have the carrying cooler now. Ellipsis actually managed to ninja loot my bear paws, which is pretty damn sweet. Crisis runs around the long way. We do go to try and cover him. We need to be careful they don't try and back cap behind us on the cap. Didn't know why Ellipsis was trading me, so I kind of cancelled it. He actually didn't tell me he had my bear paws. So he trades me again in a second, and yeah, I get them. Problem here is I'm actually running Inferno Shield now, not Ambush. And I really, really like the whole Ambush bear paws combo. It does a lot of damage, and actually I think I'm quite good at positioning it most of the time. But yeah, so I have an extra defensive now, which isn't potentially a bad thing. I can play a little bit more aggressive. Now, here, I used my Deadly Chop there completely unnecessarily. This time, I see the poison. I've popped Inferno Shield immediately. I wasn't getting caught out with that combo again. Tank comes running in, hits a 2-man tackle, and all of a sudden, we're on the back foot. Haven't really found our footing again yet. We're on the back foot. We need to keep falling back. We get another firewall down in a second, but we're not here not to put pressure. The Crisis is just able to keep putting some damage out. That was a great firewall again, and Crisis hit some godlike firewalls in this. Carried hard, I think. And here's a 5-man bear paws into the sweeping bolt, and all of a sudden, all that pressure we had right there, all the pressure they were putting on us, it just doubled, tripled that we were putting onto them, and these guys had to just walk away from that fight right there. Wind wall's been blown, frost bomb's been blown, they're just blowing everything right now to try and recover. I'm calling that I've got like 10 seconds left on my bear paws. We're going to go running in. Crisis pops his gigantic fight, he's ready to go ham. Arathorn now gets a deadly chop from me, and he's very, very low health. Now the glaive has to jump as well. I go in with another bear paws, and that bear paws just kind of seals this fight. These guys have to walk away. Ellipsis goes a little bit too deep here, gets called right now. Right now is when we're telling him, dude, you've got to come back. And we can put some more pressure. He said he had his whirlwind, but right now he's just like, just come back. Just recover the fight. Crisis gets a lovely cap right now, just before the timer, so that we can get the 10 points. And a sweep and bolts bear paws completely changed the direction of that fight. And again, I'm not going to say I carried the fight or anything, but like them 2 abilities just completely changed the fight. Even though we were so low, we were trying to recover, we were just walking away. We went to a point where we were like, brilliant, right, let's turn, and we walked them down back to their tent. Ellipsis gets this interrupt, very well played by him. The glaive looking to try and get some poke onto the back line. Ellipsis already half health, the firewall coming down a little bit unnecessarily on the firewall, but Arathorn comes down, deadly chop, and the pyroblast, and look at that damage. That's even without the sweeping bolt. The sweeping bolt comes down, but it does get dodge rolled, as well as the poison onto Arathorn, the fire of Backstabber Trush. Wait, throws a poison pot on Ellipsis, and Ellipsis realizes he needs to go back. I whiff my bear paws, and Ellipsis just gets annihilated right there. If I'd have hit my bear paws, I think I would have put some extra pressure on, and maybe that could have been different, but Ellipsis got poisoned, and that was just in big trouble for him. I can't remember if Crisis actually gets out of this situation. We'll have to have a look. He does come out of Gigantify now. Ignasti needs to be walking over at least a Desperate Prayer, at least a Generous Heal, just try and do what they can. I potentially could have used my Bear Paws right now to put some pressure, but honestly, is that going to be enough? Now, let me answer that question. Yes. If we hit the Sweep and Bolt with a Bear Paws, we would have turned and done a lot of damage. However, it needed both of us to be on the same page, ready to go, insta hits, and we weren't at that position to be able to do that. I was actually last minute brought into this team. A normal team that's been playing together all the time potentially could have actually done that, and that would have been a very, very good way to turn it. But we continue. So obviously waiting for Ellipsis, waiting for Sorab. Ellipsis goes to the top cap. We know that they're going to get at least 2 caps here. Yeah, actually, yeah, originally Ellipsis said, I'm just going to go for the cap, and we're like, no, you're the tank. Like, no. So we get AWM to go for the cap. Crisis comes straight back into the fight. I'm still carrying around my carrying cooler like a real nubcake, even though I went to the bank. Like, why? And again, they're going to get a 10-point tick. It was very, very close for them getting a 3 cap. It very good reactions by just one of us going to the top cap and taking it. Kind of secured that they weren't going to be able to equalise this fight. I don't think it makes a difference in the end, but still quite nice to know. And yeah, so we got the squad back. ADM got some cooldowns, but obviously not going to matter too much. Here he comes in, and I whiff my Deadly Chop. The Pyroblast is whiffed, and a lot of our damage has been just used right now. Had to use that block just to try and shut down some of the damage from the Frostbomb combo right there, as well as the Obsessive Burst. Ellipsis running around in their backline. I go for a Bear Paws onto Reich, and I'm calling out Reich right now. He was probably a kill target if we connected quick enough, but actually our backline was getting pressured super hard. They go hard on me. I'm going to dodge roll out. Right time to avoid the Flame Pillar as well, and yeah, and all of a sudden we're recovered, and we can start putting some extra pressure back to them. I've got 10 seconds on my Bear Paws. I used my block there. Probably shouldn't have used my block, to be honest. We didn't need to use it, and actually using it means that I haven't got a defensive for later in this fight, and the fight is going to continue. Got my Bear Paws up at the moment, and I'm ready to go in a second. Crisis used that Gigantify. He's pretty low on energy at the moment, though. Hui gets that gets the Poison Potion as well as the Sunder and Sweeping Bolt. Takes a lot of damage. I just missed my Bear Paws on him, but hit 3 other people. So enough to put some counter pressure, and these guys now have to kind of walk back. I use my Gigantify and don't do anything with it too much, which is a little bit of a shame. I probably could have done a lot more with that. I mean, I've run round, I've hit the tank once, and that's my Gigantify gone. I mean, the Frost put a lot of damage into me during that, so it's worth, but I didn't do anything offensively with it. Going for a Bear Paws, only hit rank. Again, dodge rolled. Could have waited an extra second and probably hit the glaive as well, and that would have been a lot better for us. Hit the Deadly Chop on the tank just because Ellipsis said he was coming back. Means he can cartwheel into it as he did, and it allows us to actually do some more damage to him. He has to go back and reset Zerdox back into the fight. Obviously, they have to burn a lot of energy and stuff to cover a tank's health. And yeah, I mean, we kind of back to a full reset. Now at this point they're 68, we're 58. This is the first time we really go below in this fight. I hit a Bear Paws, hit 2 people, the Frost and the tank, and the Frost just gets caught completely out of position. Not a great play by him. He played very, very aggressive in this whole sort of GvG. I'm on the glaive trying to stay ahead of him. The tank goes for a 1-man tackle, and we have our fire here just to do some damage. I go back because if you look at the time right now, 20 seconds left, I know I can get this cap and guarantee a 2 cap for us, which means that we start coming back in these points, which is what we need. Points win GvG's, not kills. Getting someone 3-setted and making them sit 10, great, that's fine, but points win GvG's 100%. We do actually manage to push and get the first cap as well to get a full 3 cap, which puts us really far in the lead. Again, we were there, we lost it, and we're back, so it's pretty nice that we managed to recover it that far. I was going to sit back here, don't know why I did. I should have left it completely, gone to the front cap, let AWM sit there with a crossbow or curse. Definitely what you want to have sitting, watching that back cap. Now we saw the top cap go over, which means at this point we got to go super ham, because I mean, we know that they're 4v5. Arathon, I whiffed my Bear Paws a little bit. If I'd hit that, that might have even actually been a kill on him. He's very, very low, and it definitely forces them to go back. However, we've still not seen their 4th guess where he is? We've got 18 seconds left, and there he goes. He back-capped the back, and they're going to get a 10-point tick for free because we haven't punished them with a kill, which is a really big shame. That was a misplay on our part completely. As you can see, he comes in now, but it's just too late to do anything. Ellipsis stuns him, but we didn't want to give him his cooldowns by trying to dismount him. So at this point, got to send someone back to get the cap. I believe AWM goes. And we get back into the fight. Ellipsis goes diving into the back line. I get a 2-man bear paws onto the 2 clothies. And does a lot of damage. Deadly Chop comes down, and this I do like 60% of the damage to this Frost Staff. He has to then run around the corner and realise that AWM is actually sat there getting the cap, so he has to turn around, and he does get in a really bad position to do that. Crisis puts a lot of damage into him, but the tank realises it and gets back there. Ignasti playing very, very well during this. They go hard on me. I run into a tree. I can see the tanks trying to make something happen there, and I believe I rolled the fling from the glaive there, maybe. But I hit a 4-man bear paws to kind of put some counter pressure. Again, like we did earlier, kind of wanted the sweeping bolt to follow so that we can make something of it and counter that pressure. But we do hit the tank super hard. Ellipsis gets a stun run, the sweeping bolt comes down. And all of a sudden, plenty of targets for the picking right now. These guys have got to run back. We've got the 2 cap. We're not going to gain anything by the skirmish, and we're not going to gain anything by sitting back. So what do? You get energy, you make something, you make a gain there. You get energy, you get health, you get recovered, you do whatever. And at this point, 48 to 34, it's a pretty close GvG, to be honest. This is a super long GvG. And yeah, they're back, but they're not full health. And as soon as we see that they're not all full health, Ellipsis goes in. He wants damage. He wants blood right now. Fire gets flung back. I get tackled, but I'm the only person. Also, Crisis gets tackled as well. I actually thought I was the only person with that. And the Frost runs all the way round. And originally my call was, well, I could just chase him. I'm a bear paws. But I don't have royal boots. I don't have my bear paws up. It was better for us to fight this 4v5 than it was to chase that dude all the way around the farm. So we do keep pushing this, and I get a little bit of lag here, unfortunately, so I wasn't actually able to connect with the fire staff as much as I wanted. Another bear paws coming up in a second. Their fire didn't punish me at all for using my bear paws. I don't think he interrupted my bear paws once, which is a bit shocking actually. I thought they'd have been able to do it. It's really not too hard to do. You just, as soon as you see the jump, you use that bear paws. Even if you have to try and put it a little bit of an angle, that's when it starts getting a little bit more difficult. Can't remember what I was doing here, but just stood still randomly because why not? Again, tank pushes in, and every time this tank pushes up to this cap, we fall completely back. We allow ourselves to get into a better position, and it does make a big difference. I get the deadly chop onto Arathorn as immediately there, and we just full wombo him. So the stun, as well as the deadly chop onto Arathorn there, is enough to just blow him up with the sweeping bolt pyro that came after it as well. Super well played by everybody there. That was a full wombo combo. Ellipsis got the nice stun run off, and a little bit of early positioning makes a difference there. But that's going to wrap up this GvG. I think overall I played okay. My bear paws typically were quite good, used more for pressure than kill potential. Crisis played like an absolute monster within firewalls. Ignasti had a lot of damage to heal, but still was very, very good. They tried to back up cap us, not really sure what they did. Ignasti came forward as well, and as soon as this dude saw Ignasti, he knew he wasn't going to be able to stop the cap. Or if he did, he was going to die for it, and that wasn't worth it. So 5 seconds, we are going to win this. And yeah, I mean, everybody played quite well. I think there's definitely room for improvement on all of us. Like I said, a little bit of a pug thrown together team. But yeah, so guys, it's been a long video, but thank you for watching, and catch you later. Goodbye.